Hello guys, we're on our way to Strawberry Farms. Angeline's gonna get some sweet potatoes seed or plants to plant sweet potatoes in her garden. Maybe she'll get some more flowers or something out here to plant. That's her favorite thing, is to work in the yard and plant and do the things outside. So she wanted me to speak a little bit and talk a little bit about maybe some encouraging words or some wisdom in life. So I'm going to try to give you something that you can benefit by. Maybe some encouraging or something that maybe you haven't thought about before. So I really spend a lot of time thinking and creating the life that I want, rather than just accepting life the way things turn out. And I really believe that the Bible is right, is that we are the creators of our own destiny. And by our thinking and our believing, we create everything in our lives. And so if you get frustrated with your life or dissatisfied with your life, always remember that you can recreate it into the life that you want. Now, I'll be honest with you, it's not the easiest process. It's why 99% of all the people haven't really gotten it, or they haven't figured it out to the point where they create the life and all the things that they want successfully. So the reasoning is that it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of thinking the right way over and over and over and over. You see, everything is really based on faith and believing. And we don't always know what we believe, or we don't always believe what we think we believe. But the way to figure that out, and what you actually believe, is your current situation in life. How much money you have, how happy you are, how successful you are in on all the areas of your life, with relationships and your career and just your life in general. If you are not 100% satisfied with everything, if you don't have all the money that you could ever spend, then there's room for improvement. If you are not completely healthy and happy and have wonderful relationships, there's room for improvement, and you can improve on it. And so the results in your life really tell you what you believe, because believing from the conscious, or what we're actually aware of when we think, is just a small part. The real belief comes from the heart, or deep down in your subconscious or your unconscious belief, where your spirit or where your soul is. And so that's where you have to get the information, or your belief or your thoughts, down into that part of your mind. And so getting it down deep into your heart, your belief system, or the thoughts or the things that you want to see happen, is the process that we are all faced with. Now, we can say we are blessed, we can say we are rich, we can say we are successful in everything that we do, and that's good. Those are good affirmations to tell yourself. But unless you believe it in your heart, look at the deer,
Look at the deer.
that you are not going to have it. And so what it takes to get it in there to the point where you actually believe it in your heart or in your subconscious, in your soul, it takes a lot of repetition over and over and over. And so you have to really start. It'd be great if you were starting out as a young child and people always gave you encouraging things and told you that everything that you're going to do is blessed and you would always be healthy and you will always have money and you are always going to be successful. And if you tell that to children at a very young age, that's what they're going to learn to believe. But none of us really get that 100% encouraging teaching because of our society and our upbringing and the parenting and the television and the communities. There's just a lot of negative stuff that we're getting fed or that gets into us, that we develop a false sense of thinking as a result of all those poor teachings that we hear and bad information throughout our lives. So we have to recreate that as we get older and we realize that we are products of our thinking and our believing. So now we have to actually recreate that belief system. And it takes a lot of effort. You have to continually, constantly monitor the thinking that goes on and how you view every situation and how you think about every situation. Because it can be real easy to get discouraged and frustrated, upset about lots of different things. And it's easy to go down that road. But the strong, disciplined, tough-minded person watches over those thoughts and he dismisses anything that's not encouraging, anything that's not positive or uplifting. He dismisses anything that's not of good nature or success. And so the minute something happens that you feel discouraged about or frustrated about, you got to stop that thought in its track and you got to tell yourself, no, I have that. I can do that. I'm going to do that. I am rich. I will be successful. I have what and even though it's not true, in reality, you have to go beyond what you see or feel or understand. You have to go beyond seeing things as they are. And so many people try to be realist and think that that's really something special, but it's really not. You don't want to be a realist. You want to be a dreamer. You want to dream and see things the way you want them to be, not the way they are. The way they are is just it's just for the moment. It can be changed. But to get to that change, you got to see them the way you want to see them. You got to dream and see things in a different way. And it can get discouraging because the results don't always happen right away. But if you stay with it, it'll eventually turn. So you really have to just monitor every thought and live and think in terms of how you want them to be, not the way they are. It's not the easiest process, but the ones who can do it and can do it consistently over and over and over and change that they're going to start getting that benefits of how they think. So I challenge you guys to really think, really monitor those thoughts, and to feel, and to understand how you're feeling. Your feelings and your emotions are really indicators of how you're really thinking. So if you're thinking good thoughts, you're going to start feeling good. You're going to start having a good attitude. And that's going to tell you you're on the right track. But if you're not feeling good, if you're feeling discouraged and upset, frustrated, it just means you're not thinking right. You're not thinking good thoughts, and you got to change those things. So eventually, those good thoughts will become your belief system as they get down into your heart. But it takes a while. It takes repetition. If anybody's ever practiced any kind of sports, like I play golf and I used to wrestle, and football and things like that, but you don't just go out there and learn those things on the first day. It takes practice. And the more you practice your golf swing or a wrestling move, or if you're a boxer, the more you practice your punches, the more it becomes natural for you. And then it becomes instinctive. And so when somebody, if you're a boxer, if somebody throws a punch at you, you've practiced it so much that before you even think about it, you're ducking and dodging and then countering with your own punch. Whatever sport, whatever that may be for you, as you practice it over and over and over, it becomes natural and instinctive, and you do it without thinking. So that's what we're talking about. You've got to practice your thinking and create your thinking and take control of your thoughts. And the more you do it, the better you get. And then eventually you change your belief system. So that's how it works. I think it was Bruce Lee, the great martial arts fighter, that said, I don't fear the man that has 1,000 moves and has practiced them one time. I fear the man that has one move that has practiced them 1,000 times. And that's the key. You got to continually practice and develop those thoughts until they become your nature. And when that's the case, everything just starts working out for you in the right way. The same way things just sometimes tend to work out wrong for you. If you can't seem to get out of poverty, or if you can't seem to be happy, if you can't seem to have successful relationships, if you can't seem to stay healthy, it's because your belief system has got you entrapped in that scenario, and it just keeps playing itself out in your life over and over and over. This might seem strange to accept, but it is the actual truth. It's in the Bible, and I think all successful people have figured this out to some extent. And so if you haven't heard this kind of thinking, and this is new to you, just make sure that you understand the depth of this. And it's going to take a lifetime of discovering and applying this. It's not going to happen for you overnight. I wish it could. Maybe it can for you, but it certainly hasn't for me. It's been layer by layer by layer, little bit by little bit. And I first heard this philosophy from a guy named Earl Nightingale, who was in the 1950s, an American who taught on self-development in this area. And he said this thing that I always remembered when I first heard it. It was a new discovery for me. He said, you are and you will become what you think about. And when I heard that, it blew me away, and it changed my whole way of thinking, and it changed the course of my life. And I started trying to put that into practice. And day after day, year after year, little by little, I've kind of been developing that. And it led me to where I am today. It's helped me get the wife that I love and the family I love, and the life that I have is because I've been thinking about it and working towards it from a mental state of mind point of view. Now, once you get that into your heart, and you think about these things and you dream about the right things, things will pop up, opportunities will pop up, and you'll get a feeling to go do something. And it's your spirit that's telling you, this is the direction to go. This is what you want. You've decided it. Now here's the direction to go. It's like when I used to dream of having a wife, and I had the perfect image of a wife that I wanted. And when someone told me that they knew a girl that was similar to what I was wanting, and they wanted to know if I wanted to meet her, all of a sudden I had a feeling of, man, I really want to meet this girl. And that's how I met my wife. So there's opportunities going to present themselves based on your dreams and your ideas, but just be willing and ready to hear those and see those, and then take advantage of them when they come. So that really, it's a very deep discussion today. It's a very deep and serious type of way of life and thinking. But I just want to challenge you and encourage you to think about that, because you can really change your life if you are willing to manage and control your thinking. And that's how it works, guys. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed that. And I really appreciate you guys watching Angeline's channel and supporting her. And until the next one, have a good one and be blessed.